This EFL and International Picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with the promo code PLGP to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is, I'm not sure, I know what the date was when I sat down. It's Thursday, the 14th of November. We are here to possibly have a look around the EFL action at the weekend, maybe make some international picks as well. Joining us eventually is the late Mr. Barry Benaluna. He's not dead, he's just late. Barry, what's going on?
I mean, Callum doesn't even care if I'm dead. I'm very offended by Callum's responses to some of the chat. I'm just chuckling away here at a lot of the chat. 15 minutes of waiting for me to arrive. Lots of funnies in there. Callum's on the naughty list because he's been a little bit mean. I don't like it. He's talking about my hairline. He doesn't care if I'm dead. Numerous other things. So Callum can do one. Scousers.
Imagine people having to wait for this though, Barry. Like, do you know what I mean? You can wait for things.
You've got to admire their commitment to the cause, like, because I wouldn't have hung around waiting for it. That's for sure.
No, I was tempted not to as well.
Wait till they find out what I've got in store tonight as well. I've already told you.
I nearly posted that in the chat. Yeah, if you think Barry not being here is a problem, wait till you see what he's done for his picks in a little while. I only know the bare bones of it. But he did message me earlier, and I was like, fucking hell, here we go. So there we go, yeah. We were a little bit late. Sorry, that's entirely Barry's fault. Thank you all for your patience. If you're just catching up on the podcast, you don't care. It doesn't matter at all. Andy's been here for ages. Callum, the backers people are here. Lee, who else? Easy's joined us. Where are we going? I think that's right. Everyone, Bootle's here as well. So welcome along. Ian Lights Out joined us. A few talking points, Barry. We've got we didn't bother doing a show early in the week. Frankly, we couldn't be asked, could we? I think it's the top and bottom of it. Well, I sent you a message, and I think reading between the lines of my message and your response, we just hadn't what it's like to do international football. So we haven't reviewed last weekend's Premier League action. So we'll do that. There are a couple of talking points in the news as well. You might have noticed if you've had your head anywhere near the socials, etc. England play tonight. Curtis Jones scored a really good goal, actually. You're right. Bootle's pointing that out. England won 3-0. Done all right tonight. The super boost on Bet365 was England to score first. So they did that. And then immediately piled everything onto the Republic of Ireland to beat Finland in running at 4-5. And they obliged as well. Finland missed a pen. I was buzzing. So a little bit of luck went my way. So I can fire a few bullets now over for the weekend. I've been involved tonight, Barry, in some mild sitcom-style shenanigans. So 3 hours ago, before I went out, I didn't have anything to tell you. I had no stories, but now I've got one. So I went to football tonight, took Bob and his mate. We do the car share thing. So I took Lucas with me tonight. Up on Cochrane Park, near the big Sainsbury's. So I was going to go cruising for chicks in Sainsbury's. I said to them too, if there's anything you'd like after football, like what would you dream snack be? Do you know what I mean? You can have, and they said maybe get some chicken strips. Bob mentioned cookies. Said, do you want crisps, sweets? Well, just what would you like? After football, people like different things. Lucas said he wanted a loaf of white bread, a proper shit one. I think his mum and dad, they live in the posh houses up by Great Park. So I think his house is full of dreary bread. you know, like your sourdough and stuff like that. And he was just wanted a shit loaf of white bread. So they went to football, I went into Sainsbury's. And I was only after yellow sticker items. That's my usual Thursday night shop. I got some cheddar muffins for myself. I got some spready cheese. I got some Whoops chicken strips for them. And there was a 39 pence loaf of sliced white bread, proper rubbish white bread. So I got that for Lucas in the car. So we come back. He had 2 slices on the way home. But then he said, how are we going to sneak this? How am I going to sneak this past me mum into the house? So we hatched a plan, Barry. Lucas's bedroom window was at the front of the house. So Lucas went in. We all said bye, waved him off. And he went straight upstairs. Me and Bob went and parked about 50 yards up the street. Lucas opened his window, gave us the signal, which was a... He gave us that signal. Bob then sneaked along the front of the house in the bushes with the loaf of bread and chucked it up to the window where Lucas caught it. So as we speak, Barry, there's a 13-year-old boy very much enjoying an entire white sliced loaf for 39p.
I hope he's not gluten intolerant.
Well, I know. I hope I don't kill him. His mother messaged me earlier on, and I thought, oh, shit, I'm in trouble. But all it said was, thanks for bringing him home. I was like, yes, we're in the clear. There is an episode of Seinfeld where they've stolen a marble rye, and they're trying to get it back into the house, but they used a fishing rod to get it back up. But we didn't have that. But it was a first time as well. Good shot by Bob. So that was tonight's shenanigans. And I think that's me. Baz, anything going
on? Not a lot, really. I haven't got any major stories. It's been a boring few days, to be honest. I've got some good stuff coming up. I'm going gigging again. I'm taking advantage of Chloe's newfound interest in live music. So this Sunday, me and Chloe are going to go to watch the Libertines in Lincoln, going to Lincoln University. And next week, we're going to Birmingham. We're going to watch the Cortinas. So I got a few gigs coming up.
Cortinas are on Jules Holland this week, I think.
Yes, they are.
I tried to get Betty to come with me next week to see Moonchild Sinelli down at Cobalt Studios, but she just turned her nose up. And I didn't want to go by myself. And it's quite a niche thing. Like, I don't think any of my hairy-arsed male friends would want to go. So I either got to go by myself or I'll have another crack at taking her with us. Yeah, we never talked about the Prem last week, and we have to because I picked loads of winners. Otherwise, we could just skip past it, but we can't because I've done quite well, I would say. But particularly well on Saturday, Barry. I went through the card on Saturday, 6 out of 6. Don't start shaking your head because I'll come and push off your chair. I went 6 out of 6 is what happened on Saturday. I topped it up with one more on the Sunday, so 7 out of 10, Baz. 16.8 units returned for the 10 staked. Lovely that. The couple of, do you want the highlights? Yeah. Moneyline winners. My favourite moneyline winner was Fulham at Crystal Palace because I analysed that to within an inch of its life. The Crystal Palace injuries completely buggered them. Backed them at 8-5 plus 160. They actually went off at 13-10 plus 130. So they really truncated in price. But Wolves on the money line won. Newcastle was a great pick. Again, I told you Newcastle were better than Forest. Very confident about that. Brighton 2.5 against Manchester City. The only bad pick that amongst them was Tottenham. I don't even know if that was a bad pick. Tottenham just go on the no-bet list. Fuck knows what's going on with them. They're absolute idiots. So that was my weekend, but I was quite pleased with myself. How did you pan out, Barry?
Yeah, you've done very well. I mean, 6 out of 6 was a bit of a bold claim. I'd give you
6, yeah.
I mean, 2 of those games you made 2 picks, of which 1 lost and 1 won. So it was more like 6 out of 8. But
so there were 6 games. There's 6 games, and I gave a winner out on 6 games.
Yeah,
6 out of 6.
You did give a couple of losers. The people liked it though, Malcolm. I put it on TikTok. It went a little bit viral. I think we got about 10,000 views on TikTok. So it all works out. Yeah, you know. I mean, there's a few TikTokers who don't like the fact I put a little highlight reel out because they're like, "Where do we find this stuff before the event?" There's always accusations that we're just putting it out afterwards. But you know, you can always find us on YouTube. It's all there.
Yeah.
My weekend was okay. It's certainly not as good as yours. Highlight for me would have been the Arsenal-Chelsea draw. Obviously around 5-2.
Nice.
Up that one. And the rest of it so far away, I can't remember. The Brentford-Bournemouth game was Brentford team total, I think, same as you. That was good. Took Wolves to win a game. I finally got Wolves right. That was okay. The rest wasn't much good. Obviously, Man City didn't do anything. I'm trying to think about the Sunday now. Yeah, I think the Sunday was pretty poor for me, apart from taking the draw in the Chelsea v Arsenal game. But yeah, it feels like a long, long time away now, that lot.
Yeah. The glory didn't last long. A couple of shout-outs, actually. Andy did mention that Tottenham were rubbish. We'll shout out Andy. Quite a lot of people, Barry, enjoyed. I have had personal feedback that quite a lot of people enjoyed how miserable you were last week.
I'm feeling a little bit better. Andy's asked in the chat how the years are. It's still slightly blocked, but almost clear now. So I'm out of the woods. I think. I don't think my head's going to drop off or anything silly like that. So yeah,
there was quite a lot of
I'm feeling more jovial.
Feedback about how miserable you were, and we got a couple of nice reviews, Baz. JB Miller, somewhere in the United States, he enjoyed the pub chat from a couple of weeks ago. The list of things before anyone asked Walker about how complicated domestic life was, and Dave in Germany, who's in Germany. He sent us a nice 5-star review as well. So the fight back's on, Barry, in terms of the review. So thank you very much for that.
So more of those, please be like JB Miller and Dave in Germany and send us the 5-star reviews on Apple. Keep doing that because those are the ones that count. We see all the nice words and they go to the bosses and all of that. So still keep ticking your 5 stars on Spotify as well, and thumbs up in the YouTube, obviously.
Hi, catchers, Barry. The first one was Tottenham. Tottenham and Southampton have overtaken the algorithm this week. I think what happened with Southampton was I enjoyed them getting beat. And every time I saw a Southampton fan whinging, I would just point out that they weren't whinging when Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy was rolling about the floor on the first day of the season. They all thought it was fucking hilarious then. Well, it's not funny now, is it, dickheads? And I pointed that out with a few of them. And now that Twitter now makes me want to look at thinks I want to look at every Southampton related tweet. And Tottenham fans lost that shit last week completely about Ange, and he was due to get the sack. But I still don't know what either of them are doing, really. The Southampton thing, it was Southampton, it's corrupt this week against Southampton, where it wasn't, like I say, in week one. And Southampton, by the way, were being corrupted against Wolves, who last year were all being corrupted. I can't keep up, Barry. I don't know who were meant to be corrupted week on week on a weekly basis. They should announce before the games this week, we're going to corrupt and tell you what team it is, because it's a different team every week. So it's really quite difficult.
I mean, we'll come on to it in a minute, Malcolm, but Liverpool have been corrupted for the last 6 years now. Apparently they've been robbed of
I've got a
5
theory on that,
titles,
Baz. We'll get to that in a minute. We don't want to bury the headline, Baz. We're going to get to that in a little bit. And I thought Man City, obviously worth a mention, 4 defeats in a row. Is Rodri having more of an effect than we knew they'd lose some games, but Jesus, they lost 4 in a row. And I thought Ipswich were worth a mention. They eventually did get their first win. And I do hope that somebody can make a fist of it down there, because it was a bit of an anticlimax last year with the 3 teams going down. It hasn't started very promisingly this year. Leicester got a win, but Southampton can't. Well, Southampton did against Everton eventually. And now Ipswich have. But Ipswich do look like they haven't lost as many games. Ipswich look like they might be able to make a fist of it. And I wouldn't mind singing some of the other teams in the shit, whether it's Everton, Palace, whoever. I wouldn't mind just singing them squirm a little bit, rather than just those 3. So that was my really my eye catchers, Baz. But any thoughts on that?
I mean, the other one that I think's worth a mention is Brentford. The 1-3-2, but it's the stark contrast between their home form and their away form. If you look at the home form only, Brentford are top of the home table. 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, goal difference of +7, and 16 points from 6 home games. I think I mentioned the other day, they scored 18 goals. I think I mentioned before the last match, they scored something like 19 of their 22 goals at home, or whatever. Obviously not 19, because I've just said they've scored 18. But they've scored 18 goals at home. And as I say, 16 points from their 6 games. Away from home, they've got no points, 5 games, 5 defeats, and only scored 4 goals. It's absolutely bonkers when you look at it. Never seen such a contrast between two. Yeah, so second bottom of the away table, right at the very top of the home table. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on the old home form for Brentford versus their away form.
Well, we did factor those splits in when we handicapped that game last week. Actually, I said I fancied Brentford, took Brentford team total. Both things would have cashed at a nice price. So yeah, you're absolutely right. We'll keep an eye on those splits. We'll get to a little bit more news. So I'm going to tell you first. You need to download the SGPN app. Unless you do that, you're missing out. It gives you access to all the podcasts on the network, on the picks page. It's all there at the touch of a button. It's completely free. Type SGPN in the App Store to download it today. And, oh shit, I haven't read these ads and they've all changed, Baz. This could be fun. We're brought to you by mybookie.ag. SGPN started out with MyBookie, and now we're back. Check out the new and improved website. Great on mobile. Plus props for every game and the live dealer casino. Even new early cash out options. Head to mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. I think I remember the MyBookie days from the first time round 4 years ago now. Okay, then. In the news, Barry, I don't know if you've seen anything about it. This is actually, it was quite topical for you because on Monday night, you've talked us about your daughter's refereeing journey that she's just embarked upon. And on Monday night, you were supposed to go to a little talking, a little training thing with David Cook. Barry, he's a Premier League referee. I don't know if you've heard of him. You were going there, weren't you, on Monday night? But oddly, on Monday, it got cancelled, the thing, and you didn't get to go, did you? Because David Coote has made either a tit or a legend of himself in the last few days, depending on your point of view. My take, Barry, I don't care. I just couldn't give a shit. I'm not bothered one way or the other. Really, it doesn't affect my life. It's funny, I'll grant you that. It's starting to get maybe a little bit more serious, I don't know, than people thought. And now everyone's started saying, well, let's make sure he doesn't commit suicide. Let's not go mental. Because it's a fine line between how many people are allowed to take the piss and to what level. But my main take on this was, as you just said, Barry, that Liverpool are now being corrupted for 3 years. David Coote cost them 3 league titles because he thinks Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Now, here's the thing, he's correct. Jurgen Klopp was a cunt. He's on our tit list. In fact, did he ever get on the tit list? I'm not sure he did. So basically, if David Coote cost them the league, Jurgen Klopp, being a knobhead, is what cost Liverpool the league. And that, Barry, is a really warming thought. It's a really nice thought to go to bed with, thinking that it was Jurgen Klopp who cost Liverpool the league, because he couldn't behave like a normal person. And his absolutely horrendous personality cost him the title 3 times. And that, Barry, is something we can all get on board with.
Yeah, so I mean, the timing of it, like you say, was absolutely unbelievable, because I was supposed to be taking Chloe to a referee's development evening on Monday night, the very same day, with David Coote, of all people. It was unbelievable. I messaged you in the afternoon saying,
What does she think of what's happened?
Oh, as soon as she come home from school, I went, I don't think that event's happening tonight. She went, why? I said, search David Coote on the internet and you'll find out. And she was just laughing her head off about it. Like, she thought it was quite funny. Like you, Malcolm, I don't really care. I think he's right. But the thing is, Liverpool fans can talk about him being corrupt and all that. The fact that David Coote or any other referee thinks Klopp is a cunt doesn't surprise me. And
no,
in the same way, and I've got a little graphic to show you why they might think that. Malcolm, we'll put it on the screen. there's a load of instances here of Klopp raging at referees. Like, I reckon if, let's say, there's 15 Premier League professional referees, I reckon at least a dozen of them think exactly the same thing of Jurgen Klopp. And some of them will think the same for the benefit
Did you make
of
that graphic, Barry?
I did, yeah. I've just done that in the last hour, just for this little feature. For anyone listening on
is that why you were late?
No, it's not. For anyone listening on podcast, for the benefit of it, I've just done a little montage of all of Klopp's raging at referees, screaming in their faces and stuff like that. Go on to YouTube if you want to see it. I'll take that down now. But they probably all think that about him because he's the most outspoken, sort of poor behaved manager there was in the last few years. And they'll all probably think the same of Jurgen Klopp, and they probably think the same about Arteta. The problem is you shouldn't be letting your mates record it on video and letting it get out there. That's where he's went wrong. And he deserves whatever comes to him. And since then, he's obviously went out. There's videos now coming out of him taking cocaine whilst refereeing at the Euro. Well, not literally whilst refereeing, but during the Euros last year. But yeah, I just think, listen, if you think those 15 or whatever Premier League referees don't have opinions on managers, then you're a bit daft. I don't think it makes them corrupt. And I still think they'll go out there and want to do the best job they can on a Saturday. I don't think they're influenced by any of it. But yeah, I do like the fact that Liverpool fans are now digging up every bad decision he's ever given against them. The ironic thing is, 2 days earlier, David Coote refereed Liverpool against Villa. And it was Villa fans that were saying he was shite because he didn't give them a penalty for the drag in the box. So Liverpool got a favourable decision from him on Saturday, and then suddenly by Monday, he'd cost them several league titles. But, yeah, silly man.
There's many fans have made sort of montages of stuff. I saw the Newcastle one with that where Jota went round the keeper and took 17 steps before he fell down. That was David Coote. The Isaac offside, where they couldn't tell if he was offside or not, so they just disallowed it. That was David Coote. Like, the list, as long as you're arm on both, so it's absolute bollocks, all of it.
I know that teams would find ones that went against them under David Coote, and you could do that for any referee. Every team could find a referee and find decisions that didn't give for them. It's all daft.
Callum's asking about the leaked messages. What made me laugh about the leaked messages was there's a whole thing about him potentially grooming a minor, and then the last message says Michael's game's gone to penalties. It just made me laugh. I just like the fact there's a little bit of work chat in there. I'm trying to enunciate, but at the same time, that game's gone to pens. So that made me laugh. The only thing I really took from it was, as a bloke, and we've had this conversation at various times, he just seems like a bit of a knob. Like, and we've talked about this because it was in the referees, politicians, traffic wardens, union reps. Remember, it's one of my favourite ones. Union reps are the worst. They're all a very good idea, but the people that are attracted to it seem to be knobheads. But that's just life, innit? Now, I'm not saying your daughter's a knobhead, Barry, but it just seems you get the wrong sort of people. Because if I got that job, if I was a referee or a politician, for example, right, match of the day looking for a new presenter. If someone phoned me up tomorrow and said, Mala, I said, that podcast's great. Do you want to present match of the day? I'd say, yeah, that would be mint. How long would I last, Barry, before I got outed as an absolute disgrace into society and I was completely cancelled? 2 weeks? 10 days? I wouldn't last a month, right? And this is how I know, because I'm a knobhead. And he's a knobhead, David Coote's a knobhead, and all of those people seem to be knobheads, and people would grass me up for all sorts of things, and I'd be thoroughly and utterly cancelled. So I just don't know where the good people are. That it just attracts the wrong sort of people, I think, and that's all I got from that video. He just looks like a wrong un. If he came and sat next to you in the pub, like whether or not he wanted to leave his glasses on the table is irrelevant. He just seems like a bit of a divvy. So yeah, that was it.
I've got one more thing on it because I've spoken to a friend of mine about the subject. He's not a real friend; he's an imaginary friend. I've been talking to artificial intelligence, Malcolm, and there's a bit of a theme. You know, artificial intelligence is going to play a part in this show. So I did ask artificial intelligence their opinion. I said, "Is there a reason why referees don't like Jurgen Klopp?" So artificial says there's a bit of a contentious relationship between Jurgen Klopp and referees for a few reasons: his intensity and passion, his public comments, high-profile incidents, and his questioning of referee standards. So artificial intelligence understands why referees don't like Klopp. I also followed it up with a bit of a question, really more show related. I asked artificial intelligence, is Jurgen Klopp a tit? Artificial intelligence tells me tit is a little bit harsh, whilst Jurgen Klopp might be a bit polarising, especially if you're on the opposing side of his passion or intensity. Love him or hate him, there's no denying he's a character. And whilst rival fans may see his behaviour as over the top, Liverpool supporters love it. At the end of the day, it depends on your perspective, Malcolm. He's either a legend or a bit of a wind-up merchant, but he's definitely memorable. That's artificial intelligence's take on it.
Right, okay.
There you go.
Won't surprise you to learn, Barry, I don't really understand artificial intelligence. I've typed some stuff into that box the odd occasion, but it just appears to be a load of bollocks. I'm struggling with that in cryptocurrency. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get to grips with either of those things. Callum's feeling a little bit targeted in the chat. The Liverpool fan. I mean, it isn't normally a weekly pile-on, Callum. I don't know how to pronounce this username. 30802. 3802ER. 3802. Anyway, welcome along. Getting involved in the chat. One more thing, Barry, before we move on and make some picks. There's a heavyweight management duel tonight, Barry, in the CONCACAF. I think it's the CONCACAF Nations League. USA taking on Jamaica. Maurizio Pochettino against Steve McLaren, Baz. Old school. Are you having that?
Bizarre. I'd forgot Pochettino had gone to America. I won't be taking any notice of that. Like, I've taken no notice of any of the other international stuff that's happened this evening, to be honest.
All right, that's my next question then. What picks have you made? Because we haven't discussed this at all. I've got 3 EFL and 1 international.
I haven't made any picks, Malcolm, but my friend has made several.
Your imaginary friend, right. So you messaged me this afternoon and said, I've got AI to make all of my EFL picks. Do you want to explain yourself?
Yeah, so I thought this show is an absolute shambles anyway, because neither of us are interested in the international stuff.
Correct. You'll get no arguments from me then.
We're going to delve into the EFL. So I thought, why not do something a little bit different? I've been experimenting with artificial intelligence over the last few days. So I thought, let's see, as an experiment, how artificial intelligence can do this weekend in terms of some picks. So I've tasked it to get me some EFL picks. And I've asked for reasoning, and I've asked for a few other little bits and bobs of, like, narrow it down to your best picks. So I've almost got artificial intelligence locks here. I've asked it for the game with the most goals potential in it. So we could have a potential goal ladder provided by artificial intelligence. So I'm happy to talk through the EFL picks, but I'm taking no credit for it. This is purely an experiment. And if artificial intelligence does well, we'll bring it back for the Premier League and see what it picks for the weekend. Well, not this weekend, but next weekend.
It's like Tomorrow's World, this, Baz, isn't it? You're like Maggie Philbin. Do you remember her? Little reference for the teenagers there. So it's almost man v machine, Barry. So if I beat the artificial intelligence this week,
this is it. Yeah.
That once and for all settles who's the GOAT, doesn't it? So we'll keep account. Right, okay. Well, I look forward to this, Barry. I don't know what could possibly go wrong. I'm going to read these adverts now. Look, Underdog Pick'em has got one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, specials and boosts on all flexed entries. Our promo code is PLGP. You get a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code PLGP. And finally, Rhythm, the number 1 AI-powered, of all things, sports betting platform. You can build your own model. You can copy one of the top performing models. You can track props in the Rhythm app. NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball. Rhythm has got everything there that you need. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Okay, we'll start in the AFL then. League One, I've got 2 League One picks, maybe 1. Can't remember. I've got 1 League One pick. 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, which is 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Blackpool taking on Northampton Town. Do you have this game, Barry? Has AI selected this game?
No, I've literally went into League Two because there was more games to choose from. So I've given AI the pick of League Two.
Andy rightfully points out that AI wouldn't have generated that story about the glasses in the pub. Blackpool are 3-5, -166. The draw 16-5 plus 320. Northampton Town are 4-1. The prices are wrong here, Barry. Plain and simple. The prices should be much, much closer together. This is 18th versus 17th. Blackpool, actually, I hadn't taken much notice of them lately. I checked the results the first couple of games after Bruce took over, obviously hoping that they just fucked everything up. And they started all right, and I got a bit annoyed. I haven't checked since. Well, it turns out it's gone royally tits up in the last few weeks. 2 draws and 4 losses in the last 6 league games. They've only won 2 out of 7 at home. And in games against the bottom 8, they've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 2. There's no way you can bet them at this price. It's absolutely insane. Now, Northampton aren't much better, unfortunately. They did get a surprise 1-1 at Birmingham last week. They scored right at the death, like 97th minute, to get a draw at Birmingham. They've only won 1 of 7 away, but they've drawn 3, and they've only had 1 defeat in the last 5. So what we've got here, Baz, is a team that aren't winning against a team that aren't losing. And like I say, the prices should be much, much closer together. I don't think Northampton are very good, frankly. But they can get a result here. Northampton or draw, so the double chance is 13-10 plus 130. No way Blackpool should be this price at all, but.
Yeah, did you say you've got another pick in League One?
No, I haven't. I made that up. I've got 2 League Twos now. So
I'll quickly give the AI thought on a League One fixture, which I hadn't done, but I've quickly typed it in and got a response within 5 seconds. So
anyone could have done that, but
I know, but it was only because Andy mentioned the Wrexham Stockport game, so I thought let's see what AI thinks about that, just for Andy's benefit. AI reckons the both teams to score is pretty good here, with Stockport's attack-minded approach at home and Wrexham's tendency to score and concede. Both teams to score looks good. It also likes the over 2.5 goals, given Wrexham's high scoring matches and Stockport's solid attacking form. So it likes the over 2.5. And the match result, AI is going for Stockport to beat Wrexham, which Andy agrees with. He said Stockport County are nailed on. AI thinks Stockport's home advantage and recent form give them the edge. Wrexham's defence might struggle against Stockport's ability to press and capitalise on scoring chances. So there you go. There's a League One pick for you.
I did. I looked at that game because I thought I wanted to have a look at Wrexham because I knew Andy'd be kicking around, and I just couldn't make a pick. It was really tricky. Stockport were the trends with the overs. Wrexham's was a little bit towards the under lately. And I couldn't get on any of those games. So, in fact, that scribble down there is where I started handicapping the game, and I couldn't work it out, so I just scribbled it out and moved on. That's exactly what happened. So, there you go. Baz, do you want to go first on for the League Two picks?
I'm going to let you lead off, and I'll pull out what AI thinks of any games you've got, and then I'll tell you what the AI best bets are.
Okay. So top of the card here, alphabetically, 3:00 on Saturday is Accrington Stanley with 8 against Swindon Town. Accrington Stanley are 5-4 plus 125. The draw 13-5 plus 260. Swindon 19-10 plus 190. The entire handicap here is on recent form, Barry. They're 18th in the league, but they've won 4 of the last 6 games, which isn't the form of a team in the bottom half of the league. It's playoffs or higher form. They've only got 1 defeat in their 7 league home games. And Swindon are just going in the opposite direction. 1 draw and 3 defeats in the last 4. They've only won 2 of their 15 games. Here, these are the odds I was kind of expecting when I looked at Blackpool, Northampton. They should be much, much closer together. Accrington's 3-0 win at Chesterfield last week is by far the best piece of form on offer. And they've just been going really well. It backs up their recent upward trend Accrington are on a, like I say, upward curve for Accrington. Plain old money line. Accrington Stanley 5-4 plus 125. Bas.
What do you think AI's gone for in this one, Malcolm?
Swindon to win, I assume.
Swindon Town. However, I think we might be all right here. I think AI might have its flaws when it comes to this, and I'll tell you why. Because when I first typed in, give me a preview of this weekend's League Two fixtures, it came up with a load of fixtures that weren't League Two fixtures. It was like Wrexham versus somebody. It was fixtures from last season that didn't add up. So it wasn't a very good start. You've got to be quite specific. So I had to give it the date and all of this lot. But its review here, it says Swindon Town to win. Its reasoning is that Swindon Town have shown better form. But obviously you've just pulled out the fact that they haven't.
Well, they haven't, have they?
Very recently. So I don't know how much form AI are looking at. But anyway, yeah, they've gone the exact opposite. Swindon Town to win is the pick from AI here.
Okay, well, he sounds like a dick. What have you got?
Well, what have you got next? You go again.
You keep pointing to me. Have you not made any pick? Right, okay.
I haven't made any of my own picks, but I've got.
I think I have. I think I have got a League One game, Baz.
Going back where we're going.
Oh, I have. I'm going backwards again. We're going back up to League One, everybody. Bristol Rovers taking on Crawley Town. Bristol Rovers 9-10, minus 111. The draw 5-2 plus 250. Crawley are 3-1. Not much between these two either. It's another bottom of the table clash, 16th versus 21st. But the prices are closer together. And the form lines here, Baz, it comes down to the home and away splits. Bristol Rovers have picked up 13 of their 17 points at the Memorial Stadium. They've won 4 out of 7 league games there. And they don't score a ton of goals, 1.14 goals per game. But Crawley is struggling. 1 win in 13 for Crawley recently, including a 6-match losing streak they threw in there as well. Away from home, 1-1, drawn 1, lost 5. This is a really good spot for the gas, Baz. I like Bristol Rovers at 9-10, minus 111.
Well, you'll be pleased to know AI is co-signing this one. I just quickly searched it in. Bristol Rovers to win is the pick. With Crawley's poor form on the road, Bristol Rovers should have the edge in the matchup. Crawley's defensive fragility and a lack of attacking consistency make them vulnerable to a team like Bristol, who have got a solid home advantage.
This year I picks all these winners, Barry. There's no reason for anyone to listen to us anymore ever again.
Yeah,
people don't listen for the picks, do they? They shouldn't. Fucking hell. Yeah, go on, crack on.
Yeah, so as I say, I did have in League Two. I asked it initially to give a pick for every game. There was a lot of money line picks in there, and then there was one that stood out as a little bit shite. They went to the county game and give us Notts County in the double chance market. I wasn't happy with that because that was about 4-9 or something. Notts County v Crew double chance. So I replied to AI and said I wasn't happy with that. I said, look, Notts County double chance is a little bit too short. Can you give me your best 3 picks at odds of 4-5 or better, 1.8 or better? And it responded. To be fair, it apologised. It didn't realise what I was looking for.
It apologised.
Sorry about this. I will get you. It says, so here are the top 3 picks based on confidence level and recent form. So first up is Port Vale to win against Morecambe. Odds. AI likes to work in decimals, so the odds here are 1.83, which would say about 5 to 6. Port Vale being one of the top teams in League Two, showing great consistency both at home and on the road. And Morecambe has struggled defensively, especially at home. It's unlikely to contain Vale's in-form attack, which makes Port Vale a solid choice for a win. So that's the first pick, Port Vale to beat Morecambe. AI's next best pick at odds of around 1.8, which is 4-5, is Chesterfield to win against Harrogate. And its reasoning for this one is Chesterfield is an offensively strong team and has managed to maintain good form good form away from home. Harrogate, on the other hand, has struggled against higher placed teams, tends to concede heavily. Chesterfield's attacking edge should give them a favourable outcome here. Don't know what you think about that. Any thoughts?
My only thoughts are, well, it's just a stone cold observation, Barry. the prices on 365 at the minute are a little bit shorter than yours. Port Vale are 3 to 4, Runmore minus 133, and Chesterfield are a little bit shorter than that. So maybe if you shop around, but yeah,
I mean,
AI's got a
AI's
different company than me.
Obviously, AI does shop around. To be fair, it did in one of the answers tell me exactly which bookie they were going for as well. It just doesn't in this one. But if I interrogate, I'm sure he would explain his reasoning. He's not making stuff up, Malcolm. But he's an honest lad. But the final pick of his top 3 League 2 picks from AI, again, he's got it down at 4 to 5. Is MK Dons to win against Cheltenham Town. He says MK Dons are solid at home with a disciplined midfield and a consistent defensive record, while Cheltenham have found it difficult to score and defend away from home. MK Dons should be able to control the game, take the win. And he thinks those 3 picks offer a good mix of reliable form, favourable matchups, and solid odds. The treble for those, MK Dons, Chesterfield, and Port Vale, comes in at about 9 to 2. Those are genuine prices. They aren't AI inflated prices. Those are what I found on Bet365 when I trebled them up. I did like Port Vale as a pick. They were one I would have probably put in had I have looked at this myself. Only because I don't think Morecambe off too much at all. So that was the 3 big picks from AI. The final question I asked AI was which game out of those 10 League 2 games looked the best for goals. And it says among the 10 games, Colchester United versus Bradford City looks the likely to get the most goals. Both teams have shown a tendency for high-scoring games due to their aggressive play styles and occasional defensive lapses. Recent data indicating both teams have been involved in matches with 3+ goals frequently. So yeah, over 2.5 goals in the Colchester United versus Bradford City game is even money. And AI's confident, so why not take the over 3.5? I haven't looked at the price of that, but you never know.
Okay, so is that the AI ladder?
That is it could be the AI ladder. I just thought, we'll see where he thinks the goals will be and see if he gets that right. So we'll judge this all on Sunday and see exactly how AI is done. Yeah, remains to be seen. The jury is out.
A little peek into the future there for everybody.
If anyone is just joining this podcast for the first time, it isn't normally this ridiculous. I don't just normally sit here and ask ChatGPT to give us all the answers. But I just thought I'd try something different for an international week,
He's turned up an hour late and fucking got someone else. He's got a machine to make all his picks for him.
It took me 30 seconds to get these picks.
We're donating the fee for this to charity, Barry. This is an absolute disgrace. I've got an international pick, Barry. Would you like me to carry on with that?
Absolutely.
Right, okay. It has been international week this week. Did you watch England earlier on? They won 3-0, played quite well.
No, I watched MasterChef, The Professionals.
All right. I only watched until they scored after 6 minutes because that landed me bet, so then I turned it off after that. I watched all the people mincing about on that big warship on BBC Two. Should have watched MasterChef. I quite enjoyed it the other day. So Friday, that's tomorrow, 4 o'clock kickoff, Barry. Where you're going to go to the AFCON qualifiers, where Eswatini will take on Guinea-Bissau, Barry. Eswatini are 130. That's 130 plus 333. The draw is 21-10 plus 210. Guinea-Bissau are 3 to 4 minus 133. Eswatini scored out of nowhere last time in the 80th minute. Do you remember in Mozambique? Totally scuppered our pick last time. And then 3 days later, immediately returned to form and lost 1-0 at home to Mali, which would have cashed every bet we've ever placed on them. That goal against Mozambique's their only goal in the last 4 AFCON qualifiers. But Guinea-Bissau are in decent form. 1-1 with Egypt last time. They did beat Eswatini 1-0 back in September. I had to get creative a little bit here because the goals markets are suitably short priced for the unders, etc. So it's a little same game parlay, Baz. It's a both teams to score no with a under 3 goals. And that's 4 to 5 minus 125. And I haven't entirely ruled out the 0-0 draw here, Barry. There's 11-2 plus 550. And the Guinea-Bissau 1-0. But the 0-0's live. That's the reason I haven't taken Guinea-Bissau to win with under 2.5, because I think the 0-0 could play a part. So both teams to score no, under 3 goals, 4-5, minus 125 between Eswatini and Guinea-Bissau, Barry.
Nice. That wraps up the picks then, Malcolm. Have you got anything else?
I've got nothing else. No, I went with my story at the top of the show, Baz. So take it away if you've got any real life experience you want to tell us.
Well, it's not real life. It's a further contribution from AI. I thought we'd put a little show twist on this final bit. I asked, we quite often talk about Tory Scran on this podcast. And I did wonder if our American listeners would understand what Tory Scran is. They probably got the gist of it from the chat. But I just thought I'd ask AI to define Tory Scran so I could see, what it thought it was and whether that might help some of our listeners in future when the Tory Scran update comes up. So here it is. Tory Scran, Malcolm, is British slang. It's typically used in a humorous or mocking way to describe food that is seen as posh. It's seen as posh, pretentious, or associated with upper class tastes. That's me.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's food that might be stereotypically associated with the Conservative Party, which is the Tories. So the Tories are one of the political parties in the UK. It's often used to poke fun at what some consider fancy or overpriced food, sometimes with minimal portions or elaborate presentations. Examples might include, have you got any example? What would you consider an example? We'll see if any of them make the list, Malcolm.
Oh, well, anything you have for your tea, mainly, Barry. What, examples of an actual dish? A Tory Scran dish?
Just Tory Scran,
aye. I would say roast guinea fowl and all the trimmings.
Close. There is a bird mentioned here. Anyway, examples might include like avocado toast, smoked salmon, or quail eggs.
I had that yesterday.
If you'd said quail, then you'd have done all right. So quail eggs, or any kind of artisanal, organic, or gourmet food. Basically, if it seems like something you'd find at a pricey gastropub, upscale grocery store, or on a posh brunch menu, it could get labelled as Tory Scran. The term is usually used by people wanting to draw a line between regular food and what they perceive as posh or out of touch eating habits. So there you go. That's AI's view on Tory Scran, Malcolm. Which one of those did you have yesterday? The smoked salmon or the avocado toast?
The avocado toast. But I don't think that can be Tory Scran. I'll tell you why. I was in Sunderland and I walked past the fruit and veg man. He's got 4 avocados for £1. I mean, you can't knock that, can you, Baz? You can't spend your money like. So I got 4 avocados.
Were they ready to go?
Yeah, they were ready to go. In fact, one of them was a bit over, one of them was a bit manky in the middle. So that had to go. But I just, classic, little bit of chili, salt and lime juice. Had them on a bagel. Was going to have a poached egg on top, which maybe might have tipped it into Tory. But I went to the cupboard and there was no eggs in there. So I've docked the missus housekeeping suitably. That won't happen again. Hit her in the pocket, Baz. And I had the avocado on toast. So, yeah. That's what I did. I've got these for when I finish here.
Avocado on toast, particularly if you'd added a poached egg, is definitely Tory Scran. Avocado works in a guacamole for me. A homemade guacamole is nice if your avocado is nice and ripe. But other than that, doesn't out for me an avocado. Like, too healthy.
Too healthy. The problem environmentally, Barry, with the avocado is that everyone thinks they're saving the planet by scranning them instead of having a burger. They take so much water to produce. Like, they'll take as much water up as a cow in avocado, and then everyone thinks, because it's little green and inoffensive looking rather than a big meaty beast, that you're saving the planet. Well, you're not. It's taking thousands of litres of water to produce that, and they've had to ship it from Peru. Don't know where that bloke in Sunderland got them from. So there you go. I reckon you probably just painted a couple of turnips or something. Right, anything else to add, Barry?
No, that's all. I've had nothing to contribute all night, Malcolm. So there's nothing actual from me.
I haven't said the word turnabout out for a few years. You remember Joe Peel, don't you, Baz? Used to come in the casino.
Yes.
He once got his hands on a load of tinned turnip, like an entire lorry full of tin turnip. I mean, no one's going to buy that. So he took all the labels off and sold them at the market as like mystery tins, telling people there could be fruit cocktail, orange segments, anything. There could be absolutely anything in there, but they were all turnip. And he made an absolute killing. Like, they were going like hotcakes. That's good old Joe Peel. Good story from back in the day. We finish on that. Right. Thanks everyone for joining us. I assume for the last time, no one will ever listen to this show again. CC7's just joined us. If we haven't put you off, we'll probably be back to. Well, we have to analyse this shit on Monday as well. We'll think of something to do. But the Premier League's back next week, so don't give up on us. Send Barry help and all of that. Baz, anything else to add?
No, that's all. No, I mean, what are we covering on? Well, it's not going to be Sunday. I'm at the Libertines gig Sunday. So we'll be back Monday. More international picks. Is that where we're at? Fuck me.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe we'll just be talking about how amazing AI is and how it is the future, and how nobody wants to listen to us anymore because they can just chat GPT everything.
CC7's disappointed that he's only just joined and it's ending. Mate, you've absolutely dodged the bullet. This has been the worst 52 minutes of content anyone's ever produced.
I disagree. CC7 needs to rewind 52 minutes and go through it all.
No, don't make him do that. That would be unfair. Right. Thank you very much, Barry. Tremendous. I don't know what to say. Thanks, everyone who joined us. Good luck with your picks. Whatever you're playing at. And we'll try and do better next week. Until then, we'll see you all down the road. Cheers.